Don't know what's going on with this exactly. But when I start it up, fires right up. It's idling good at 1100. I feel just a little miss in it. You can see the needle, and all of a sudden it just starts dropping. And as long as you just barely touch the gas, it drives real good. But you can hear it backfire there. I think it's getting unburned fuel. If I'll let the throttle down slow, it'll sit there and idle at 12 for a little bit. Not missing. Running perfectly on all cylinders, so I know the injectors are not plugged up. But just don't seem to be taking the gas. Now you can hear it start to miss again, and then it'll drop. There it goes. Starts dropping. It should be at 750. So there's something wrong in there. I don't know if it's a idle control valve or what's going on. I'll have to take a look at that. And then I've when you turn it on and you hit the vehicle control module, I get a fuse 1 error code. I looked in the manual and it says it's a box, the fuse box on the right hand side, but I checked all of those fuses, they're good. And I also have my little electrical warning symbol on. So I don't know, maybe it's I think it's probably a sensor there, an idle control or throttle position sensor, something's weird there. So that's where this is at right now. Well, I'm moving along on that 94 Jaguar. I paid a guy a couple $100 to diagnose it, and this was the idle control valve. What I've done is put it in a pan here, and I'm heating it up. If you can see down in there, the valve is closed. I just barely put it on. This water's about body temperature right now. And the valve is closed, and what it should do, as it heats up, that valve should open. And this is what regulates the extra air to make the idle work. So I'm just testing it. I'll bring you back in a second here when this water gets hot and see if it opens. Well, to me it looks like it's looks like the valve is closing. Water's I can still stick my finger in it, so looks like it's around 100. But I thought it would open up when it gets hot. I'm not sure how this thing works, but it looks like the hotter it gets is closing that valve. Well, that makes sense because the bulb is exerting pressure upwards on it. So apparently what it does is give it Gives it a little extra air when it's cold, and once it heats up, it's shutting off, and it looks to be working. I don't know how hot this water is. I can barely put my finger in it, but that valve sure looks like it's closed up completely. Yeah, it's see a little steam coming off of it. Anyway, apparently the valve is working. Take it out here, and excuse my kitchen mess. And I guess don't know if the wife will mind me using her pot. I didn't hurt it any. So it's definitely closed, and if I try to blow on it, too hot to blow on. But it's definitely closed up in there. So whatever it is, I think it's working. And we'll let her cool off and see if it opens up. And it should. It was open before I put it in the water. It's a pretty good shape. They got a little, so obviously a casting. This only cost like 260 bucks or something, and the Jaguar was 500, so this half of Jaguar price. This screw here, you turn it in and out. That adjusts the idle, and there's obviously a hole in there. I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but it plugs up that valve, and that adjusts your idle speed. That's the only adjustment on these xj12. The rest of it's all ran by computer. Anyway, it all looks pretty good. Main thing that piston in there is free and moving. So I'm sure it works. Maybe I'll bring you back whenever it's cooled off. Maybe I'll just leave it alone. Here's the box it came in. It's Lucas classic car part, EAC 4438, and it's just as authentic classic, but the fuel injection auxiliary extra hour valve, xj12. They packed it really good. It was in paper and bubble wrap and a UPS box. So I'm sure that it's all okay. I think I've sold the car, and I'll just charge them for the part. I may not sell it and keep the car. In that case, we'll have a video of me putting this thing in, but I think I'll just sell it as it is.